Hi everyone, welcome. This is Magda K, and I haven't done these YouTube lives in quite a while, and I figured this is a topic I really want to talk about. So today we're going to talk about this is mostly for men, but of course women are welcome. We're going to talk about um, things not to do for men when you go down on your woman. So this live is inspired by a recent Instagram post that I did, and in that post I shared three main mistakes that men do when they go down on their woman, and it became very very popular, very viral. Lots of people shared it, lots of people saved it, and I wanted to speak more about this because of course in Instagram posts there's only that much space that we have to write, and I figured this is a great channel, a great way to actually dive a little bit deeper. Now, for those of you, if you do not follow me on Instagram, please do. It's Magda K Official. You can also find the link in the description of this video or on the banner on my YouTube channel. But for now, let's just dive into this topic here as well. So I want to speak about like what I'm going to cover in this YouTube live is I'm going to go into the three mistakes that I spoke about on Instagram, but going deeper into them and adding a few more. Okay. Lovely. So I'm just gonna like jump right into this. And hello everyone who's joining live or watching the replay. Lovely to have you here. By the way, sorry guys, I know I like jump right into this. By the way, wait, let's just wait for a moment. If you are new here and you're like, who is this lady? Why is she talking about these things? Maybe I should first just give you a short intro to what this channel is and who I am. Sorry, I like never remember to do that. I just kind of assume everyone is here and it's been here since the beginning. So, my love, again, my name is Magda K. I'm an intimacy coach, tantra teacher, and a relationships coach as well. So, what I really do is I bring the science of sacred sexuality, energy sex, energy work, conscious relating. I bring this and I kind of translate it into the Western mindset using also my background in human behavior and psychology, so that everyone can actually benefit from this like science, this art, from all of these tips. And that is for both men and women. I work with men and women. I work with singles and with couples and in all types of relationships. So if you're in a triad, open relationships, that is all welcome here. Yeah, and like today I really wanted to talk about this, like I mentioned, all the tips about oral sex. So now that you have the intro, in case you didn't know me, let's jump right into this. So the first one, and I wrote this one on Instagram, and I think this one specifically really caused a lot of comments from men. So what I wrote is that one of the mistakes that men make in terms of giving a woman great oral experience is that there isn't enough foreplay. And the main sentence here that I would love for men to remember is this: what is foreplay for you is usually sex for us. So oral sex, like traditionally, is considered foreplay, right? Like that's how you warm her up. For us, oral sex is not foreplay, it's sex, which means we need foreplay before you go down on us. Okay. And, you know, the way you can think of this is, and I'm sure you may have heard of this metaphor, a woman's sexuality, it's more like water. It takes time to warm her up, right? You're more like fire. It's like once the sex becomes the topic on your mind, boom boom boom, and you can be ready. But for a woman it doesn't really work like this. And so things that happen like an hour or hours or days before you connect with her, that is her foreplay. That is everything she needs to be ready to receive you in a sexual way. So the main thing is basically oral sex is not foreplay for women. This is sex. And so the way you want to engage a woman so that she can be ready to receive you is by activating her whole body. There was this beautiful book on tantra that I read, and what the author said, like the way he phrased it, is that you want to engage every part of a woman's body so that that part of her body takes part in sex. It's like if you forget to like touch her left hand, then while you're making love to her, like the left hand is just not going to be present during the experience. So that's to demonstrate that it's important to touch, kiss, in some way engage literally every part of her body. Okay. Now, I need you to think of it simply in terms of the fact that her body works differently than yours. Even in deep tantric communities, I remember having this conversation with men who are very much aware and introduced, and then they enjoy long foreplay, sensual massages, like energy sex, etc. But when it comes down to them, I ask them, like, if you have a choice, what do you prefer? For a woman to go kind of straight for your genitals, or for her to like give you this 1 hour lovely sensual intimate massage? And basically every man said, like, no, go straight for my genitals. And it's how your energy works, right? It's like, if you want to open your whole body, you start with your most potent center, which is your cock, it is your genitals. And then this energy kind of spreads throughout your whole body, and then suddenly the whole body feels alive, awake, and aroused. But it's not how a female body works. In fact, for us, it's the opposite. So the only way for our genital space to fully open is if you first engage the whole body. Okay, so just literally like the opposite flow. So for a woman, you want to start with the outside of her body. So you want to play with our hands and our feet, our arms and our legs, then our neck, our shoulders, right? Going up the legs. And then you're kind of like coming from the outside towards the genitals, and the genitals should be last. Okay. So again, you can just have this little check note in your mind. Have I touched every part of your body before I'm touching her genitals? Okay. This way, her genitals will be ready to receive you. And I'm sure you've experienced this, right? Like when a woman is fully open and aroused and ready for you, she's soft and she's pulsating and she is indeed ready. So she will not be as ready if you jump to the genitals too fast. And so this is why we need what for us is foreplay, which is touch our whole body, engage our whole body, and then leave the genital space as the last. Now, another thing to keep in mind here is that the muscles of a vagina are connected through the nerves to the breast, especially the nipples, and to the throat and the mouth space. So this is why kissing and playing with her breast in general is so helpful to help her be fully open, aroused, juicy, wet, and ready for you as well. Okay? So that is the first thing. Remember, we need foreplay before you gift us oral sex. Oral sex for women, it's sex, it's not foreplay. One of the main rules, principles that you can take from this video. Okay, here is number 2. And this one was also covered in my Instagram post. And I want to add a few bits to this one because this is super important. So I see so much online, all of these posts like, it's called the clit. Hey, the clit is here. It's like also making fun of men because you don't know where the clit is. As if clit was the answer to everything. It's like this magic button, and if you press it, she's gonna have the best orgasm ever. That's not exactly how it works. Now, yes, I will agree that I think, if we look at the generations of how we approach sexuality, because men do not have a clitoris, it's something a bit more difficult for men to relate to. So, feminists have been screaming about it. Hey, we have clitoris, please play with this. But so we do want this to be included. We do want you to touch her and play with her and lick her, but it's not all about the clitoris. And I find that it's kind of going a little bit too much there. So let me kind of explain this to you so you don't feel confused, because I get it. Like, if I was man seeing all of these like messages on social media right now, I would be very confused. Like, I would think that all you want me to do is just play with your clitoris, and that's basically all you want. So what is it with the clitoris? So yes, it's an extremely sensitive part of a female body, something that men do not have. Clitoris, just like, scientifically speaking, is twice as sensitive as the tip of a male penis. But here's the thing, just because something is extremely sensitive doesn't necessarily mean that it's pleasant when you touch this. So, because it's so sensitive, it is important for a woman to be warmed up. And again, this is where we go into the first point of foreplay, right? Where she is already aroused and the clitoris wants to be touched. Like, if you think of it, there is a reason why the head of the clitoris is covered by a hood, because it's so sensitive. Like we don't want to touch it directly throughout the day, right? It's only when a woman gets more aroused that the hood will move back a little bit, revealing the head of the clitoris. And again, there's different anatomies for different women, but this is just kind of the general rule. So just remember, it is very sensitive. It's not the same as it experiencing massive pleasure anytime you touch it. You can think of it sometimes like if you have a fresh scar and there are like some nerves right at the surface of your skin, and you touch and you can see it's like, whoa, it's super super sensitive. Doesn't necessarily feel good, right? So what does it mean? So first of all, again, different women will have different preferences. I'll speak about it a bit more in a second. But first of all, start first by stimulating the part outside of the head of the clitoris, right? Don't go straight for it. Play with the whole genital space, the outer lips, the inner lips, outside, right? Like kind of the circle outside of the head of the clitoris, and allow her to be ready to be touched. Like you're teasing her, you're informing her, I'm going to touch you next. And then it is really absolutely okay to stimulate her, especially at the beginning, through the hood. So for some women, again, we have different anatomies. The hood can really lift, so it fully reveals the head of the clitoris. So in this case, it's not really possible to stimulate her through that skin anymore. For some women, she can be fully covered. So then you can play with this. You can lift it and keep her covered and see how your woman reacts. Please do remember that after some time of direct stimulation, clitoris gets sore. And it really can be very, very sensitive. In fact, it's like gets overstimulated, and any form of touch is just really unpleasant. So this happens quite a lot, that like men just kind of go extremely, you're extremely excited and you go full on the clitoris, and it can get to the point where like a woman cannot handle any more stimulation. It's like, stop touching me, it literally feels bad. So if you think of this, you want to give her pleasure, so you want to find all the most exciting and sensitive spots. But like if you overdo it, it can get to the point where it's not just that it doesn't feel amazing for her. She may be literally praying silently for you to stop. And trust me, this happens with women often. We haven't been conditioned to speak up about what we like and what we don't. So it's something women are learning, and it's taking us time for obvious reasons. So just because she isn't telling you that she doesn't like something, it doesn't mean that that's not the case. Okay. This is why I do these videos. This is why I work with men. Like I tell you things that probably your lover, your woman would be scared to tell you. Okay. So just please have compassion for us and just take all these tips and then like try to apply them. Um, so again, another thing about the clitoris is that men usually, like you usually would either use your finger or your tongue and kind of like go really fast with this movement, trying to create the vibration. So while this is something that can for sure work for some women, it's not necessarily the only stroke, and it's not the magical stroke for sure. So some women may actually prefer a very different type of strokes. For example, simply pressing over, like you're pressing on the head of the clitoris and you hold it. It's just steady pressure on instead of any movement or vibration. As in, you're not a vibrator and you don't need to try to be one. Right? Like you have other skills and other tools to use. So the vibration, this kind of fast movement, isn't always what women want. And sometimes, like again, doing less can be amazing. Especially so if I'm looking at my body, it will be my upper right quadrant of the clitoris. That part is extra sensitive, and when I mean sensitive here, I mean it's just like extra pleasant. So sometimes like pressing on that side can be really really pleasant for her. Now going from here, so that was number two, right? Like remember, clitoris can be very sensitive, and sensitive doesn't necessarily mean pleasant. This takes me to number three, is that it's really not all about the clit. Despite what a lot of like feminists and like tantra teachers and sex educators like are posting on social media, that's not really the case. We are different, okay? Women are different and we have different preferences. Different things will turn us on, right? Just like not all of men prefer the exact same types of strokes. Like some men love when your balls are being played with, other men don't want their balls touched. So let's not assume anything. And let's just remember that this will work differently for different women. So a lot of it actually comes down to what is our predominant sexuality type, or you could say like sexuality temperament. And we have four main ones: fire, earth, water, and air. And I actually teach about this in my video training. So it's like a 90-minute training where I guide you through these four types. I tell you, like, I help you recognize which one you are and how to recognize which type will be your partners, and then like how to really give them what they really want and need to be fully sexually satisfied. So you can check this out. There is a link in the description of this video. And I think it's like $111 only for the training, so you can like check this out for more details. But for the importance of this video now, what I want you to know is that not all women love oral sex. There will be some who can go absolutely crazy when you go down on them. It's like it can in fact be like the only way for them to have an orgasm. And then you'll have other women who will like it, but they will not love it. This will not be their favorite thing, and they will really struggle to come from oral sex. Again, this depends on which of these four sexuality types they are. So there will be women who will prefer penetration to oral sex. There will be women, for example, for whom if you lick the entry to the vagina, that is going to drive them crazy, but not if you go for the head of the clitoris. For some women, if you press on the perineum, that can like shoot up their energy through their body. So again, yes, oral sex is amazing, and I do believe that it should be a part of like the full sexual spectrum. And it does help for female genitals to fully open, to get to the female erection so that she can be ready for penetration. But again, don't assume that this is the best thing that you can do for her, right? Because I feel like there's still this idea that like penetration is for him and oral sex is for her. And especially if you like think that you really want to keep her happy and give her a lot of pleasure, but then if you just assume that like that's the best thing you can give her, and you just may end up having a woman who's not really so much into oral sex, then she will not be receiving all the pleasure that you are hoping to give her. So I think this is really important just to remember that yes, oral sex is great, but just not like all women go crazy when you kiss their breast. Not all women will go crazy when you go down on her. So just remember, we have different types, different preferences, and there are a lot of other special parts on of her body that can like really really give her incredible orgasm and just incredible pleasure. Now number four, so I'm going to cover six things today, okay? Number four is a mistake that I have, well, of course, experienced as well, but I know that happens, is that you get, and I know, like, oh gosh, I know that a lot of you guys, you like love the pussy and you love going down on her and you give your whole heart and like you're so focused, so present. It's amazing. But that can make you really focused on her genitals and just kind of be there, like you're there between her legs and you're only there. And the thing is that, especially for women, after some time, this can feel really cold. This may feel like you're not present with them. Like she can literally feel like she's just an object. Like all that you care about is her pussy. What about the rest of her? What about her soul, her personality, her whole body? So we really need like this full engagement. So you can think of it Like, can you make oral sex a full body experience instead of just a genital experience? So what it means is that, alternate things, right? Now, again, this will be also very good because if you remember, clitoris is very sensitive and it can get sore. So it's actually really good to take some breaks or add some variety, change the things that you do so that the head of the clitoris can rest. But also, this is just very important for a woman to feel that intimacy with you. Like, we need that. We need to feel really connected to you, especially if it's your partner and you do share love connection. So that means that, you're kissing her genitals, her pussy, and then you start like massaging her thighs, and then you go down and you start kissing her inner thighs, especially. Use your hands to like massage her belly. So with your hands, right, when you're activating her genital space, and then you're using your hands in there, going down her legs or up her body, up her belly, over the breast, you're actually spreading the sexual energy throughout her body, helping her experience a full body energy orgasm, right? So you're spreading this energy, but you're also activating the full body. So she feels like she is again fully present in the experience. That takes me back to what I said at the beginning, right? Like, for a woman to be present during sex, every part of her body needs to be engaged. So if you now go down on her and you're suddenly like forget about everything else, she doesn't feel she's there. She doesn't feel present. She feels that it's just her genitals that are taking part in this. So again, you want to touch her, spread the energy, kiss her inner thighs, kiss her belly. Every now and then look at her, lift yourself up, kiss her, look into her eyes, play with her breasts. Especially what is really beautiful, intimate, and really works on moving the energy is if you take one of your hand, especially if you can do your right hand, and place it here on her heart chakra, the middle of the chest, because that basically directly moves her sexual energy from now activated sex center into her heart center, so she can experience this blessed opening of her heart and just feel incredible amounts of love towards you and towards herself. So that's like a really, really amazing thing to do. But again, remember, the main point here is you want to be engaging her whole body. Okay. So for her, oral sex, it's not just about her genitals, it should be a full body experience. That takes me now to point number 5, and this is to tell her that you love her pussy. So I know this is also an issue for men. Like, we live in a society that has so many requirements to how we should look, and that includes our genitals. And then, we see in porn a very specific type of genitals. And so as women, we really do not love our pussies. Like, most women never look at her, a lot of women never touch her. So women don't even know how she looks like. We don't look at other women, we don't know how other women look like. And it's really, really sad, but there are plastic surgeries that women do, cutting the inner lips so they're smaller, so they look more like what we see in porn. um, so you can offer her so much healing and so much love, but just telling her how much you love her pussy. And this is both just being like general, telling like, I love your pussy, you're so beautiful, she's so beautiful, but also becoming specific. Like saying like, oh, I love the color of your lips, or I love your taste, I love your smell. If she has any pubic hair, like play with them. It offers so much acceptance towards her genital space that, trust me, like 90% of women really don't have. So just by like affirming that she is beautiful and that you do love her genitals, like this can really change the whole world for a woman. And especially if your woman struggles to let go, like she's really stuck in her head, or if your woman struggles to orgasm, a lot of it is because we are disconnected from our genitals. Like, remember, we've been conditioned, like both men and women, we've been conditioned that sex is a sin, masturbation is a sin, that our genitals are ugly. but it's been stronger for women. Like, notice that all of the like special soaps for intimate hygiene, these are only marketed to women, as in female genitals smell bad, we need to do something about it. Like, we keep nonstop hearing another type of a message, how there's something wrong with the way that the genitals look. It's a woman who should get like Brazilian bikini wax, right? Yes, we talk more and more about men also trimming and anything, but it's like women are expected to do so. So there's more this conditioning that women are facing. And so again, this is something you can really, really, really massively help her with if you just add some on top of your oral pleasure, if you can add some oral confirmation and affirmation towards her sex. And then the last one, so I'm just like looking at the, someone is asking, is cutting the lips sore or is it like circumcision, not bad like a scratch? No, I literally mean, like, if you think of having like a piece of skin, you take the scissors and you cut it, like you cut off. So you can think of it, imagine like this is my ear, right? I would literally cut this part off to have smaller ears. Like, this is the surgery that we're talking about. And it's been quite popular, especially in the US for quite many years now. Because again, if you guys ever like saw porn predominantly shows yonis that have no inner lips, like the inner lips are not developed. But this is like one of multiple types of female genitalia. And so majority of women do have inner lips, and they can also be very long. But you only see like long and big inner lips in a female pussy in like some specifically like fetish porn. So, and this is what most people see, to be honest. Like, we don't have access to healthy sex education images or videos, so that's what we see, and we think that that's how yoni should look like. So yeah, that is literally what happens, and this is truly, truly sad. I mean, I think, quite honestly, like, if any person feels they need to cut any part of their body to fit the societal idea of what is like pretty, I think it's just really, really off. Thank you for that question. Okay, love. So the last one, the last tip that I wanted to talk about. Um, my apologies. I have been coughing recently, actually. Oh, okay. So the last one I wanted to talk about, and this does happen, guys. It really does. So please, like, just stay with me, listen to this, and like, just notice, am I doing any of this? And this is assuming that you know, or even more, assuming you know better than she does. So here's what I mean by this. This has happened to me and my girlfriends and my clients in multitude of situations where a man, I mean, I know, guys, I know you really want to impress her, you want to give her pleasure. So like the intention in majority of cases is really, really lovely, and like coming from the heart. But you've been with a lot of women, and like you've noticed what works, what they enjoy, so then you want to like show your current lover, hey, look what I can do. I'm gonna give you pleasure like no other man has before. But then this is all lovely, this is all good, but this can easily turn into, I know better what will feel good for your body. And so I have seen this many times, unfortunately. Then like a woman will say, oh no, I'm not really into this, and he's like, no, no, trust me. I'm like, I just said I'm not into this. Or a woman can ask, could you do that? And you're like, oh, but I'm not into this. So it's like, can you please let her be in control of what it is that she wants to experience? Don't assume that you know better. So how does it like look like specifically? Okay, if she says that she doesn't want something or she doesn't like something, please do not push. The only thing you can do is this. Okay, you can say, listen, this is something that like other women that I've been with really enjoyed, and I would love to like give you like I don't know, I would love to share this with you. So if it doesn't really feel good now, would you be open to give it a try? Or maybe what if we like try it for about 15 minutes and wait for you to like open up more and be more receptive, more aroused, and see if this feels good, the more open you become. And let's say if after like 10 minutes you still don't like it, you let me know and I just won't do it anymore, right? Because this is true that sometimes like certain things may not feel good to her because she needs more time. Maybe she doesn't trust you, she's not relaxing, she's tense, she's thinking about something else. So absolutely this can be the case, but you don't want to like basically gaslight her and tell her, oh no no, I know better what will feel good for you, let me just keep doing what worked for other women because I know that you will eventually like it. So if she, look, even if it is something that she would eventually like, if she says no, just honor and respect it. Like, it's not the place to now argue and prove to her that you know better. This feels very disrespectful to women. Again, please remember that for generations, and that includes still today, we are not empowered. We are not allowed to say no. Like, for so many generations, a woman couldn't say, no, I don't want to have sex because that's your wife's duty. So for a woman to speak up, it's not easy. Again, we're learning this, and some women may be better, some may struggle a bit more. So please have compassion. Okay. We may not always be able to say exactly that we want something or that we don't. But when we do, don't question this. Okay. And don't challenge this. She is learning to own her sexuality. That is really needed and important. And eventually you will benefit from that as well. Okay, so in moments like this, again, this is, please, I know this can be very triggering for our ego. I get that. Like, I have ego like anyone else. So if you feel like triggered, just like take some time, take a deep breath, remember where she's coming from. Okay, most women are massively disempowered in their sexuality. Like, even I talk about it doesn't mean that I have worked through all of my inner shit about this. I still fear to speak up, right? And I'm so much more open than the majority of women. So please, please, please have compassion and love for your woman. So now try to take a breath in if you feel that like your ego is getting triggered, and just come with love. This is not about her attacking you and you needing to protect yourself. So again, always come back with love and say, hey, would you be open to experimenting with this? Or you can say, listen, there's something I would love to try with you, tell me if you like it. Okay, so you're giving her space to actually decide if she wants this. You see the difference? Now another thing is, please ask her. Like, ask her, what do you want? Like you can also ask her before you like get into giving her pleasure, but you can ask her, is there something that you don't like that I should know of so I make sure I don't do this? So this is a great conversation. Well, it's generally more difficult for a woman to tell you what she likes because she may not know this. She will usually know what she doesn't like. So if you ask her, is there something you don't like and you would like me to know it? Like something you just want to make sure that I don't do, right? That will be very, very helpful. So she would usually be able to answer that question. And so that's a tip for you. Okay, she doesn't like it. And again, if it's something you think she would like, then just have this lovely conversation, as in, like, okay, I hear you don't like it. Would you be open to give it a try with me? Like, we'll take it slow. And again, at any point, if you decide you don't want to continue, just let me know and I stop. So she is always in control of what happens to her. Then also keep asking her, especially while you're already with her, do you like this? Do you want more pressure, less pressure? And she may not be able to answer you. Again, like I said, we're not really empowered in our sexuality. We have not been conditioned to listen to the body and follow what feels good. So for many women, this is a foreign question. We don't know how to answer that. But that doesn't mean don't ask. Keep asking, okay? Because it's like, let's say you ask her, what do you want? Do you like this? I don't know. What about this? Oh, I don't know. What about that? And you're like, oh, actually, that feels good. Okay, let's do a bit more of that. Does it still feel good? She may be like, oh, actually, it does feel good. So, what you're doing through that, actually, you're creating a nerve connection between her genitals, the sensations in her genitals, and her brain, which eventually allows her to name the sensations. So, another, I think, very interesting fact is that a woman can have an orgasm, like physiologically, can have an orgasm, but she doesn't register it as an orgasm. So she doesn't actually feel pleasure. It's because there's disconnection. Okay. So that's what you are doing when you're asking her questions, when you're touching her, licking her, kissing her, and you're asking her, do you like it? Not, more, less, right? It kind of forces her to start building this connection if it's not there. And again, if your woman struggles to orgasm, this, like after you do it a few times, this will be huge in allowing her to actually drop and do experience an orgasm with you. So, my loves, these are my 6 tips on how to go down on her so that she has a really amazing experience. So, let's just gonna sum it up because I know I've talked for over half an hour. And again, if you're not new here, you know I love talking, but it also takes some energy on your side to listen and follow. So, just to make sure you guys are getting the juice from today. Number one, remember oral sex for a woman, it's not foreplay, it's already sex. So we need foreplay before that. Number two, clitoris is very sensitive, and sensitive doesn't always mean pleasant. So be mindful not to overstimulate her. Number three is that it's not all about the clit. We are different. Some women may not love oral sex, they may prefer other things. And again, if you want to dive deeper into this, there is this training about 4 sexuality types. You can find the link in the description of this video. It's only $111. You can go deeper into this if you want. Number four, it's remember to keep engaging her whole body. So make oral sex a full body experience. Number five, tell her that you love her pussy and what specifically do you like. And number six, do not assume that you know, especially that you know better than her. Engage her in this experience, ask her question, let her feel that she is in control of what is happening to her. Okay, my loves, I hope you enjoy this. If you guys have any questions, and look, I understand these are like, sensitive topics. So if you don't really feel super comfortable commenting under this video, I understand it. And at the same time, if you do, I would love for you to do this because it helps with the algorithm. It shows my videos to more people. And it's also a feedback for me that you guys are enjoying the content. But again, if it feels a bit too much, you can also message me more privately via Facebook or Instagram. Again, you'll find the links either in the description of this video or on the banner on my channel. You have the little icons there as well. Now, if that was your first experience of being here with me and talking about intimacy together, and if you enjoyed it, please join my channel, subscribe. I would be so happy to welcome you to our tribe here. Let me know what are topics you may want us to talk about in the future. And I'm wishing you a beautiful Sunday, an incredible week, and I will be catching you very soon. Bye, loves.